Four Boys Garage back here. Today we're going to talk about a UPS. UPS stands for Uninterruptible Power Supply. This means that anything you have plugged into this, of course that's rated for, will not be interrupted with a power flicker, power outage. It will stay on and stay running. It does this because this is plugged into your wall, charges an internal battery. The battery is actually what powers the device that's plugged in on any of these, oops, see if we can focus here, battery supported outlets. In this case, this is a small one, it's a 450 VA, has 4 receptacles. These 4 are surge protected, but they would turn off in the event of a power outage. These 4 would stay on. Many times these are used for computers, servers, important devices that a lot of times are found in an office environment. Not many people have these at home, but we have been using this at home for a really good use, I think, which is keeping our internet up and running during a power outage, as well as not having it reset just from a flicker. This small unit, we run our modem and router with at least one router. We use a mesh, and not all the other pods are connected to a UPS, but this keeps the main pod and the modem powered and prevents them from resetting in the event of an outage or flicker. You can get these in different sizes. This is a 450, and I also have an 850, I think it is, that's bigger. I keep that on my laptop so that it will stay on and I can use it. But anymore, with so much being the demand for internet with streaming devices, people streaming TV, you can watch TV through your phone. I like having this so that our internet doesn't go down when there's a nasty storm, sometimes tornadoes in the area. We're able to keep up to date with our phone. Our cellular service is a little tough where we are and not always reliable. So we really depend on our Wi-Fi to get our TV and notifications. But I like being able to, if our power goes out, I can still use my phone to be watching the local weather and radar and different things like that. So it really works well for us. In this case, I'm actually going to be rebuilding ours, but this video is serving kind of a dual purpose. Not many people know that you can do this. So that was one of the purposes. Not many people know that if this dies, you can totally fix it for very little money. So there's sort of a dual purpose here, but at least, to let people know that this is something you can do. I mount mine to the ceiling in our basement with these screw holes here. So it's just up in the basement ceiling with the other devices plugged into it. And when we have a power outage, this will keep them on. They won't even turn off. They won't even flicker. That's the uninterruptible part. The last time we had a power outage, however, this thing died within 10 minutes, and I knew that the battery was probably bad because this really just has that internal battery, and besides that, some other circuitry. But when it died so quick, I knew it was toast. This otherwise, at this 450, runs our setup for, I don't know, about 45 minutes to an hour of continuous use of the modem and the router, both running in the power outage. If you get a bigger unit, you can run for longer. Our power outages are mostly flickers or for 10 or maybe 30 seconds. But we did have one recently that was off for I think about an hour in total. I ended up just plugging in our other UPS to the setup just to make sure, confirm that this was in fact probably a bad unit, and I let it run for a while to just to test how long it actually would run. Prior to that, I had never really tested the total runtime. Anyway, to get right to it, this is a 450 again. I'm rebuilding mine. Many of these are designed specifically to be rebuilt. They have, I've already removed the screw here. I've actually already removed the battery, but in here they'll have these SLA batteries, the sealed lead acid, and you just have 2 terminals. And this really just boils down to, this specific unit had this battery, and of course this phone won't focus, which lists some specs here. And I could not find one with the exact specs of this battery, the exact dimensions. But because I use mine for such short intervals, I actually ordered one that was a little bit smaller. I was able to get this on Amazon for about $13. This thing I think is about 60 bucks, 70 bucks by itself. So to be able to fix it for $13 this quick and easy, literally one screw panel pops off, disconnect the wires, pop in a new battery. It needs to fit. In this case, mine's smaller, but it won't run as long as the battery that was in it. I'm fine with that, especially for $13. Keep this thing going. But there are some things you want to pay attention to depending on what you want to run. You know, you need to find the tag here of any one of these that you plan to buy and make sure that it can supply the power needed to the devices you intend to run. I have a bigger one that runs my laptop for a very long time. And if I needed to, if we had a really extended power outage, I would end up just unplugging my modem and router and just plugging them into that bigger one, moving it over there if we really need to. It just died on me. So I don't care that much, but that's how quick and easy it is. It'll just be a matter of plugging these in, putting the cover back on, and plugging this back in to let this battery fully charge before I actually put it into service. But that'd be it to rebuild this, and they're all the same. Larger models, they're all designed to be rebuilt or replace the battery. Now for people who are streaming TV, like I said, I use my phone and just watch my phone usually because it's on a battery, so it's not dependent upon power anyway. You could probably use one of these bigger models to run a reasonable sized TV. You could plug it in. It would provide you with surge protection on your TV. I don't know if I would try to run all of your devices, whether or not you're running some other type of, Apple TV type module, or, whatever you need to operate your, we run a lot of Rokus, so we'd have a TV and then maybe a Roku plugged in for power. Sometimes the Roku's plugged into the TV's USB port. And so it's, via this plug is powering the TV, then that would power the Roku stick, for example, on some of our TVs. But you could totally get a unit big enough that would power your TV for a period of time, to do the same, keep up on, storm-related news or whatever. I don't know, how long you could get the TV to run. Obviously, the bigger the TV, the more power it's drawing, the bigger the unit you would need. And so really just figuring out that calculation. I've not intended on making this about any of those type of things. Really just make people aware that you can keep your internet on, especially just during an outage or a flicker. And, also you can fix or repair your UPS if you already have one. You can get a unit this size, like I said, for about 60, 70 bucks on Amazon. We'll put a link in there for one of these. This is perfect for just keeping your modem up and your router if needed. Obviously bigger units go from there. We'll also put a link to this battery, which was just 13 bucks, and it actually fits, I would imagine, a lot of units regardless of the brand that have the same rating here.